Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of Momentum on the Next Level Life podcast. Today I want to talk to you about unapologetic sales energy and why you need to show up like it's already sold out. Okay, if you have a scalable offer, a one-to-many offer that you are trying to sell, one of the biggest things that we often do is we have a period of time when we sell, right? So what I'm going to share with you today is going to be transferable no matter what length of time that you sell. But one of the things that I often see is that people give up on their sales process way too early. And it can feel like we're annoying people, or it can feel like we're showing up and constantly talking about the same thing again and again. But there is a reason why the most successful people do this, right? There is a period of time that people go through when it comes to the decision-making process when thinking about making an investment. And the decisions often are made once they're moved through the majority of the process, right? So if you are showing up with unapologetic energy in the beginning of the sales process and you're excited and you're pumped, the hype energy is exhausting. The hype energy doesn't actually get us anywhere. And so what's most important is the mindset that you approach when it comes to your sales process and the length of time that you're going to be selling. Because if you show up with constant hype, it's going to be exhausting. And people aren't buying hype, right? People are buying based on the information that you're giving and whether they need the solution that you're selling. So I want you to start to think about the length of time that you are selling. You've got to show up as if it's sold out. You have to believe in your offer more than anybody else does. And you have to show up with unapologetic authority and confidence, because confidence, another way to say confidence is certainty. If you are communicating with certainty, you are holding space for someone to sit in the decision-making process in order for them to feel certain that the decision to invest is the right decision. So if you are wish-washy in the way that you're communicating, if you are coming across with such hype in the beginning, but then that wanes, people are going to see that and they're not going to buy into it. So you need to have the mindset of like that it's already sold out, right? That you're already in this headspace that it is absolutely worthy of people to invest in it. You've got to believe in the value that it delivers. And you've got to think about what are the questions your ideal clients are asking themselves in the process of making the decision, right? There is more than one question to answer, and it's not just what's included. People don't buy the inclusions, they buy what the offer will give them, what all the inclusions will give them, right? They're buying the outcome or the results. So if you're not communicating that and the impact that those results and outcome will have on them, on their business or on themselves, then you're missing a really huge component of your sales process. So firstly, they've got to be connected to you. They've got to be related to you. They've got to be feeling like you understand them, right? They've got to have that buy-in right from the beginning. You have to ideally articulate the problem, because if they're not relating to the problem, they're most likely not going to want to solve the problem. Or another way to put that would be the flip side of the problem. If you find like you're spending too much time focused on the problem, some of your ideal clients won't be problem driven. Other clients will be desire driven. So if you're speaking about the desire, right, you want to think about the outcome and the results that you're going to create to achieve that desire that they're truly looking for. Then we want to start to think about why them? Why is this offer specific for them? And why should they choose you, right? That's the next key piece. So if that's unclear, they don't move to the next part of the sales process. Then we're going to get clear on what is actually included, right? Then logically, the brain goes to, okay, what's included? Is this going to solve the problem that I have? Then we start to consider, is this for me, right? So then they look at the inclusions and they determine whether this is the right fit for them. And then if that question is answered and they see that the inclusions are absolutely what it is that they need, then they go into the emotional resistance phase. They start to consider, oh, but will this work for me? What about my special circumstances? And what if it doesn't work out? They start to get into that hesitation piece. Now, you in your unapologetic energy, your unapologetic sales energy, and your confidence will shine through and support them through the emotional resistance phase if you are certain and confident at that point in time, right? If you are waning in that point in time, most likely people will just go away. They just won't buy. And so often what happens is that we get all hyped, we get excited, and then we go, yes, this is for you, and we share like why you should work with us. And then we go, these are all the inclusions. And then if people haven't bought at that point, often people wane in their energy, right? They often get depleted because they're exhausted, because they feel like they've been doing so much hype, right? It's at that point of time where you actually have to show the highest level of intensity and confidence and certainty, right? Because they're in the emotional resistance. They want to make sure that they're making the decision. You have to hold that level of certainty and trust before they then make the decision to buy, okay? Then we make sure we're overcoming any objections. We're speaking to any hesitations that they might be having. We're speaking to more of the results and the outcomes, and we're painting the picture of what could be possible for them if they had that solution, right? It's in those moments that people buy. Whereas often people just get caught up in like, here's the inclusions. Why haven't people bought? It's because there's still an emotional resistance they need to move through, and it's still really painting the picture of where they could possibly be once they've had the solution in place, okay? That's why it's so important that you must show up as if it's sold out and show up with absolute confidence and certainty right through to the end point where people can buy. If you want to dive into this a little deeper, I have a free masterclass coming up next week, which is all about why your scalable offer isn't selling. So if you have a program, a mastermind, a course, something that you've launched as a one-to-many offer and you feel like it's really not hitting the mark, I'm going to go through with you the 3 strategic shifts that you need to make in order for it to be a hell yes for your ideal client. Come and join me on Thursday. Come and join me on Thursday, the 12th of September. It's free, it's live. You'll be able to ask your questions and make sure that I'm giving you personalized advice for your specific offer. The link is in the show notes. Come and check it out.